Hari Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Kuroti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vansha Kalpadarubhascha Rupasindubhye Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Chishe Namaha Ajanulambito Bhajo Kanakavadato Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Jugadharma Palo Bande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Bande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Gaudodai Pushpavanto Chitro Shamdo Tamonudo Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Surupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Shuruto Pangor Mamamandamater Gati Mat Sarvasvapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Shimad Ratnagara Sinhasanasto Shimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prestalabi Sivyamano Smarami Shimad Rasa Visarambi Vam Shivata Tatakstitaha Karshana Venus Vanair Gopir Gopinata Shriyestunaha Angashyamani Machata Virabito Mandi Kritendi Varam Jadyam Jagudarocha Samvidadatam Pattam Varasya Shriya Vrindaranya Nivasanam Hridilasad Dhamabhiramodaram Radha Skandani Veshito Julabhujam Dhyayem Damodaram Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vrindai Tulsi Devi Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha. First of all, my unlimited Dandavat pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Sto Tarasata Sri Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, and to my Siksha Gurus Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Asto Tarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhara Goswami Maharaj and Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Ashtatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. to all of my Sri Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga, especially on this transcendental appearance day, most auspicious day, the transcendental appearance day of Srila Nityalila Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Astatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Dayata Madhava Goswami Maharaj. And on this Ekadasi Titi, also the disappearance day of Nityalila Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Mahabhagavat Srila Gorakishora Das Goswami Maharaj. So, and my Dandavat pranams to all my Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga, my Dandavat pranams to all the Vaishnavas and all the Vaishnavis here in New Braj and all over this auspicious planet. So, this morning I was reading the Katha about Srila Gorakishora Das Babaji Maharaj, and it took up most of my reading time. And but there's so much more to read even, because first of all we have the Katha given by Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. We have the Katha given by our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj. We have the book called Babaji Maharaj. That's the title of it. It's in our folio. And it has extensive information about Srila Gorakishora Das Babaji Maharaj and his pastimes, and as well as Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj in one book. I think it was titled Babaji Maharaj 2 in Transcendence. That's the original title, I think. And also Srila Bhakti Balabhatirtha Goswami Maharaj's book. That's where I was reading from this morning. His narration of the divine qualities and pastimes of Srila Gorakishora Das Babaji Maharaj. So important personality. Can we imagine how exalted that he is the spiritual master of the Jagat Guru, the direct associate of Srimati Radhika. He is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he is an eternal associate of Radha and Krishna and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So there's unlimited glories to hear about him. But simultaneously on this day, we have another great, exalted, eternal associate of Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His appearance day is also today, on this auspicious Ekadasi day, at the last 5 days of Kartik. And that is His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Dayata Madhava Goswami Maharaj, the divine spiritual master of at least 3 of my Siksha Gurus. 4, Bhakti Balabhatirtha Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Aniruddha Prabhu. I think there's one more. No. Those personalities. We did not know much about Srila Bhakti Dayata Madhava Maharaj until we heard so many of his glories from Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj and his wonderful books, plural, but especially the one book dedicated to his Guru Maharaj called Volcanic Energy. And we did not know what kind of volcanic energy. We know some other great personalities that can also be described as having volcanic energy. We know so many. But this particular one had a unique contribution to the preaching mission of our acharyas in the line of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which was recognized by all the God brothers. They all understood. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj specifically told, especially in regards to the acquisition of the very place of birth of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Jagannath Puri, that great feat of gaining the ownership and control of that property for all future generations and building a temple there on the birth site of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that was accomplished by Srila Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj. And it was given, the task was given to him by the godbrothers after they had already tried. To some extent, they had made some efforts. But then one day, in their gathering, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj told, he said, now we have exhausted our efforts. But there is one personality amongst us who his efforts are not exhausted. In fact, when all of our efforts are exhausted, his efforts just begin. And they all requested him, Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj, to take up that service. And in a very humble way, he bowed at their feet and said, I accept. And he did it. You see, that's the story of his whole life. When you read the book, then you see. Everything he set his mind to, it was accomplished. So he never gave up volcanic energy. So it's a wonderful opportunity today to hear some of his glories. And also, we won't have time now, but in the evening, I'm going to speak about Srila Gaura Das Babaji and read from these incredible pastimes of his. You gotta all come and hear it. You'll be a big loser if you don't. Especially on this day, his disappearance day, the first day of Bhishma Panchak. By the way, I'm going to talk about that too. And the last Ekadasi Titi in Kartik month. Don't miss it. For anything, come and hear the glories of our great Acharya, Srila Gaura Das Babaji Maharaj. You should hear what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati wrote about him. Yes. So we'll read all of that nectar. So now I want to read about Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj. It is actually an excerpt from that book, Volcanic Energy. So the first section is titled, Accepting Nothing for Himself. Once, Guru Maharaj preached in Amritsar, accompanied by 20 devotees, including Sri Bhakti Balabhatirtha Maharaj, Sri Bhakti Prasad Puri Maharaj, Sri Ganashyam Brahmachari, myself, and a number of our godbrothers. Lala Sri Vishana Das, who was the greatest contributor to the construction of the Sri Durgyana Mandir in Amritsar, this person had arranged for our accommodation, prasad, and whatever else Guru Maharaj and his party required. He introduced us to a milk vendor. And he said, he will provide whatever milk you may require in both the morning and evening. He then introduced us to a grocer. And he said, whatever you may need, be it rice, pulses, flour, ghee, or anything else, please do not hesitate to ask him. He will provide you with whatever you need. Guru Maharaj later told us in private, we are bhikshukas, bhikshuks. Bhikshuk means a mendicant, beggar. We should never ask for or accept anything for our own use. In fact, we are sadhus, or persons who are fully dependent upon Sat Vastu Shri Bhagavan. And we follow the principle of Yatecha Labhe Santosha, which means being completely satisfied with whatever comes of its own accord by the desire of Sri Bhagavan. Additionally, Tat Kripavalokanam sadhus, they see his mercy. The sadhus who see his mercy in every situation, Tat Kripavalokanam, they see his mercy in every situation. And therefore, a preaching sadhu should never ask for anything for himself. Above all, a sadhu preacher should not stay in the home of a grihasta. However, if he is circumstantially compelled to stay in the home of a grihasta, he should do so in a most disciplined manner and strictly maintain the Vaishnava etiquette befitting a renunciate. He should remain satisfied with whatever the grihasta devotee provides according to his capacity and of his own sweet will. If, out of extreme necessity, the preaching sadhu should require anything beyond what his grihasta host is capable of providing, he should request money from the bandari or the ashrami of the mutt before departing on his journey, and he should purchase whatever is needed with that money. He should remain fervently careful that others do not find his activities to be objectionable or disgraceful. Therefore, ask neither the milk vendor nor the grocer for anything. Now, this is what is being instructed. Although the host instructed, give whatever you require. So what is he saying? Don't ask for anything. All that we need will become available by the mercy of Sri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan. If any of you need anything additional, then you ask me for the money to purchase it. Although our host has told us to ask for whatever we desire, still, I will feel great shame if anyone accepts anything for his own use. Following Guru Maharaj's order, none of us asked for anything from either the milk vendor or the grocer. But when the milk vendor became increasingly insistent, we agreed to daily accept 5 liters of milk. He chastised us. When we informed Guru Maharaj that we asked for nothing, but rather Sri Vishanadas instructed the milk vendor to give us 20 liters of milk, then Guru Maharaj said, okay, fine. Cook kheer daily with that milk, and I will offer it to Thakurji. Every evening, we will distribute that kheer to the audience after Harikatha. So we prepared kheer daily, and Guru Maharaj happily distributed the prasad to the audience every night. After the Amritsar program had concluded, and we continued on to another program at a different location, Lala V. Sri Vishanadas told others, the devotees stayed at my place here for 15 days, but I did not incur any costs. First of all, they did not want to take anything. Then, even when I offered, they would not accept anything. When finally I forcibly gave them something, they distributed it to everyone. They are truly uninterested in accepting anything for themselves, whether for immediate or later use. Many other visiting sadhus often ask for us to provide them with supplies for their journey. But Srimad Maharaj and his traveling sadhus were uninterested in accepting supplies for themselves, even while they were staying here. What then can be said of their interest in collecting things to take with them? So when Guru Maharaj manifested his disappearance pastime, Lala Sri Vishana Das published an article in local Amritsar newspaper informing all about Guru Maharaj's physical disappearance from this world, and he wrote, quote, "Throughout my lifetime, I have received darshan of many sadhus who have visited Amritsar to speak Harikatha and to perform kirtan, but despite their best efforts, none of them could hide their faults from my astute perceptiveness." Sri Bhakti Dayata Madhav Goswami Maharaj was the only great soul who exhibited an absolutely spotless character during his visit in Amritsar. He was, in the truest sense, a sadhu. What to speak of me? Even the most wicked of persons would be unable to detect any fault in his divine character. Sri Murari Lal Vasudev of Punjab National Bank used to accompany Lal Sri Vishana Das to hear Guru Maharaj's Harikatha and Kirtan. He, along with his 4 sons, had personally served Guru Maharaj and observed his conduct very closely. After Guru Maharaj entered a Prakrita Leela, then Sri Raghunath Das, one of the sons of Sri Murari Lal Vasudev, moved to Mumbai. There he invited some preaching devotees to visit his home for some days. As soon as the devotees, please confirm whether or not these preachers have been sent by Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math. Perhaps they are independently traveling here and there to fulfill their own selfish motives in the name of preaching and helping the whole world find welfare, quote unquote. Sri Puri Maharaj asked, "What makes you suspect they have not been sent by Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math?" Sri Raghunath Das replied, "When our respected Guru Maharaj Ji, Srimad Bhakti Dayata Madhav Goswami Maharaj, came to Amritsar, all the brahmacharis and sannyasis accompanied him, never accepted anything for themselves, even after being requested many times. Instead, they always insisted they required nothing. But the devotees visiting my home today have deceitfully presented themselves as penniless and have presented a long list of demands. Their instructing tone smacks of self-righteousness and implies that they feel themselves to be doing us a great favor by staying with us." So Sri Bhakti Prasad Puri Maharaj then chastised the devotees and reminded them of their duty to follow Guru Maharaj's ideal conduct of being an Uttama Sevak, a topmost servant, which is helpful in successfully the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there's one end note here. Oh, it's just talking about. Okay. Now, there's also a glorification of Srila Bhakti Dayata. This is just one excerpt from the book, which has come on our he started his own mat, Sri Gopinath Gaudiya Mat. But he was the chief editor also of their magazine and had a very, very close relationship. And he considered Srila Madhav Maharaj to be superior to himself, that he's like Siksha Guru figure. And even though Srila Puri Maharaj was quite senior in terms of the years and when he came to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Ganga Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Radha Govinda Jiva Ki. So the title of this article is The Founder Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, Sri Srimad Bhakti Dayata Madhav Goswami Maharaj. So, at 9 o'clock in the morning, On Shukla Pratipad Titi, the 16th day of the month of Govinda, 492, according to the Gurabda calendar, and according to the Gregorian calendar, this was the 27th of February, Tuesday, 1979. That's his auspicious disappearance day of Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj and Sri Srila Rasikananda Dev Goswami, the founder and president of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, and the founder and president Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, an institution with branches across the country, the most respected Sri Dandi Swami, Sri Srimad Bhakti Dayata Madhav Goswami Maharaj. Well, yeah, that's true. He concluded his pastimes in this world while in his Bhajan Kutir in Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, situated at 35 Satish Mukherjee Road in South Calcutta, amidst the tumultuous chanting of the holy names of Bhagavan. So he had disappeared on the same day of the appearance of Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj and Rasikananda Goswami. He entered into the third yama, or the forenoon pastimes of the Ashtakaliya Nitya Lila of Sri Sri Radha Govinda, Gopinath Madan Mohan, Nayananath, with a desire to meet Sri Shyama Sundar at Sri Radha Kunda at noon. Mental abode, Sri Goloka Vrindavan, which is situated far beyond this illusory material world, the pain and the spiritual loss felt in the hearts of his beloved associates and followers due to his physical absence is extremely unbearable. You can open this window a bit more. His god brothers, his countless disciples, both ladies and men, and all the ladies and the gentlemen who were attracted to his divine qualities, today, realizing themselves to be completely helpless and without a shelter, they cry bitterly. His most enchanting divine lotus face, his peaceful, soft voice, which sounded as if it were submerged in honey, was ripe with true love and affection. He was insurmountably passionate in preaching the principles of pure devotional service to Sri Sri Guru Gauranga, and his efforts to that end were untiring. He was unceasingly affectionate to his fellow God brothers, and he possessed a strong parental love for his disciples. Sri Maharaj's expertise in refuting misconceptions about the path of bhakti was extraordinary, as was his ability to establish the actual principles of bhakti, which are based on the authentic scriptures. He energetically excavated the lost places of pilgrimage. He propagated the importance of following Vaishnava, establishing many mats. He yearly organized Sri Navadvip Parikrama, and triennially he organized Sri Braj Mandala Parikrama. He was capable of drawing out the jewel-like essence of any subject by churning the ocean of the scriptures. And what is more, he virtuously preached those teachings by imbibing them in his personal conduct. So a beautiful way that Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj writes. His attachment to Bhagavad Bhajan was astonishing. His tolerance and humility were exemplary. He considered himself as worthless, even though he possessed the most desirable qualities in terms of family background, conduct, knowledge, and intelligence. Despite possessing these qualities, he was completely devoid of pride. He was enthusiastic to distribute the Prem Dharma of Sri Chaitanya Dev everywhere, without considering the caste or creed of those to whom he was distributing it. He desired to assist every living entity in attaining his or her eternal spiritual welfare. He was completely devoid of any desire for worldly gain, recognition, or fame. He possessed sincere faith in rendering service to Sri Hari Guru and Vaishnavas. These are but a few of his countless divine qualities. As these qualities appear one by one in the consciousness of the devotees, who now feel themselves bereft of his association, the agony of their separation from him is exponentially increased in the core of their hearts. The president and acharya of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math appeared in this world in 1903. Although his father was a resident of Barakar village in Dhaka, Gurudev was born at his maternal ancestral place, the aforementioned village of Kanchanapara. After his birth, he spent the next 4 years in Faridapur with his father. When Sri Acharya Dev lost his father in his childhood, he returned to Kanchanapara, and it was there that he spent his childhood and attended school. From his very childhood, he exhibited great faith. Because his mother regularly recited Srimad Bhagavad Gita to him, he memorized it in its entirety. Did you hear that, you guys? What did he do?
He memorized the whole Bhagavad Gita in its entirety.
How old was he?
7.
From the age of 7. Yes. And he studied all these other shastras. So I think his disciple should also memorize more verses from the Bhagavad Gita. Grand disciple. Okay. That, yes, grand disciple. What am I saying? Yeah. Shame, shame, shame. That's all I'm going to say. I'm really telling that what vow we made, we better follow it. The Jayanti comes in a month. All of you better memorize those once a week, 5 verses. Are you already beginning that process or not?
Yes.
Very good. And? Okay. This is not going to be a light thing. You know why? Because this is going to set you on the track of your whole. With this Kali Yuga brain in this life, it would be an absolute embarrassment. But Prabhupada told, if you know 50 verses from the Bhagavad Gita, you can preach anywhere. Okay? So we should arm ourselves to go onto the battlefield. This is a battlefield. Maya Devi. We are fighting against the illusory energy, and we have to help to save the conditioned souls. Like that. So there are also so many. But we can also compile our own list, because those verses are the most often quoted verses in Prabhupada's purports. So very easy to find these 50 verses, and they can also be varied. Even if you have some favorite verse of your own, you can add that into your 50. So, from his very early childhood, he exhibited great faith in spiritual activities. His sacred thread ceremony was conducted at the age of 7. From then onwards, as per the instructions of his religiously devout mother, he would regularly study the scriptures like Sri Mahabharata, Sri Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and others. And because his mother regularly recited Srimad Bhagavad Gita, who recited the Bhagavad Gita regularly to him? His mother. Because of that, he memorized it in its entirety. And his belief that its subject matter is the complete real truth. Oh, you don't have enough ability? You learned an entire language? You can speak so many thousands of words, but you can't add another few hundred words of Sanskrit to those? No, nobody can be lazy. Since his early childhood, he was habituated to lead a firmly disciplined life. He was widely renowned in the community as a Naishtik Brahmachari, or a committed lifelong celibate. And you look at him, he was so very beautiful looking, but lifelong celibate. Very extraordinary. By the effect of the matchless sweetness of his divine body, which was tall, brightly complexioned, flawlessly beautiful, wonderfully well-formed, and majestically radiant, and his kind behavior, he held leading positions in various fields of activity since his time as a student. His desirable qualities and his competence were readily visible when he took part in sports and acted in amateur plays based on spiritual subjects. He was always a front runner when he participated in social service activities. For example, he helped poor students establishing a library and also took part in the nation's freedom movement. His deep faith and his proficiency in spiritual subjects was evident. Even in his childhood, everybody was amazed to observe his acute intelligence during his life as a student. Later in his youth, after studying various scriptures including Vedanta, he studied the spiritual literature. He renounced the material world, and first he went to Haridwar and then later to the Himalayas in order to perform penances. There, inside a cave, after he had been absorbed in meditating on the Supreme Lord for some days, according to a severely austere procedure, he suddenly received a divine order to return to Bengal. After doing so, he met Om Vishnupad, Ashto Tarashata, Sri Srimad Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Mat and other Gaudiya Mat branches, and within a short time, he accepted the shelter of his lotus feet. What kind of extraordinary personality? How many of these do we see around today? From then on, he followed, and he extensively preached the teachings of pure praying, last order of life. He became known as Paribrajakacharya, Tridandi Swami, Sri Srimad Bhakti Doyata Madhav Maharaj. He had accepted the mood of one in the renounced order during his steadfast brahmacharya. By the divine influence of his wonderfully magnanimous and most ideal conduct, and by the effect of listening to his highly potent Harikatha, thousands of people, both men and women from all over the country, from east to west, north to south, became attracted to Sriman Mahaprabhu's praying dharma, and they accepted initiation into Gaudiya Vaishnava Dharma, became established in following the etiquette of devotional service, and are now performing sadhana bhajan. The manner in which Srila Acharya Dev Sri Srimad Bhakti Dvaita Madhav Maharaj established magnificent preaching centers, which included non-profit and volunteer-based Sanskrit educational institutions, libraries to facilitate debates on comparative religion, primary and higher secondary schools, charitable hospitals, single lifetime, he laboriously and passionately preached to everyone the Prem Dharma practiced and preached by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, irrespective of the caste and creed. End of sentence. He extensively preached. You know, this is how Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur spoke and wrote. I've been told. I try to read his Bengali. His sentences are one paragraph long. In Sanskrit language, many of the compositions are very extensive descriptions. In the sentence, before the verb even comes. Many, many phrases and paraphrases and like that. So he extensively preached to both the highest and the lowest communities of society, to the rich and the poor alike. As a result, countless men and women from different castes all over the country have been initiated into Sriman Mahaprabhu's Prem Dharma and have become established in following Vaishnava etiquette. Above all, his most extraordinary and unique contribution to the larger Sri Saraswat Gaudiya Vaishnava community is his untiring 12-year effort to acquire and manifest the glories of the divine appearance place of Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Padashta Tarasata Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the many branches of Sri Chaitanya Mat in Sri Puri Dham. My Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, is glorified by the word Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute. Offer heartfelt obeisances to the embodiment of Sri Gaur Sundar's mercy potency. As a result of the mercy of that Sri Gurudev, his dearest associate, Sri Srimad Bhakti Dvaita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, has fulfilled his heartfelt desire by preaching throughout the world the very name, form, qualities, and pastimes that he, Srila Prabhupada, previously glorified. Now, being again drawn in by that very mercy, Sri Madhav Maharaj has accepted the eternal shelter of Srila Prabhupada's divine lotus feet, which bestow freedom from sorrow and fear, and are the source of eternality. It is for this reason alone that Sri Kaviraj Goswami has boldly proclaimed in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya 7:11, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Tare Pravartana, that one cannot propagate Nam Sankirtan without being empowered by Krishna. Just as Sriman Mahaprabhu enriched his dearest associate, that is, my Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, by bestowing upon him his own effulgent form and prized quality of magnanimity, own effulgent form and prized qualities, and infusing him with his limitless power of mercy, Kripa Shakti. And as a consequence of receiving this power of Sri Gurudev's mercy, he quickly established skyscraper-like temples and mutts in almost every state in the vast expanse of this country, whose borders are formed by the Himalayas in the north and the ocean in the south. In this way, he instituted the service of the deities of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari, and he preached the glories of Sri Harinam Mahamantra, which is adorned with 32 syllables. And after accomplishing these services here in this world, he has again returned to serve the lotus feet of his Gurudev. All the associates of Srimad Mahaprabhu, like Sri Sarup Damodar Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, and others, they have entered into the Lord's eternal pastimes after fulfilling Srimad Mahaprabhu's most cherished desires, and subsequently all other Guru Vargas have come in their disciplic succession, have under the guidance of Sri Gurudev attained the eternal shelter of Sri Guru's lotus feet, and thereby gained the qualification to render service to Sri Sri Radha Krishna Jugal in their amorous pastimes after fulfilling the most cherished desires of their respective Guru Vargas. We too should similarly follow with our body, mind, and words the lotus footsteps, that is, the teachings and conduct of all such exalted personalities. Srimad Mahaprabhu offered the garland hanging from his own neck to his followers, and he instructed them to engage in kirtan of Sri Krishna's names, which are our most cherished possession. So, because we've now come to the time for the arti, and there's still quite considerably more in this incredible article. Actually, this is the first time I ever read this article. It's amazing. Actually, at the end of the article it says, excerpts from an article. Wow, it's almost like you wrote a whole book. So, how fortunate we are. How fortunate we are to be in this Guru Varga of such glorious, exalted personalities. Just by thinking about them, remembering their names, we attain eternal auspiciousness in our life. So, I'm happy that on this day, the first day of Bhishma Panchak, we started our auspicious final 5 days of Kartik. And all the final 5 days of these vratas with the auspicious disappearance and going down at their divine lotus feet and praying for their causeless mercy, that we can have a drop of their mercy on their divine appearance and disappearance days. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitaram paramebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Srila Bhakti Madhava Goswami